Hello everybody, welcome to the NPTEL course on retail management. This is Dr. Shagata Chatterjee from Vigisom IIT Kharagpur who is taking this course for you. This is week 1 lecture 2 and we are discussing introduction to retailing. So, in the last lecture we were discussing about these two concepts called web rooming and showrooming, and these concepts becomes important in an omnichannel experience. Now, even if omnichannel experience is not available, people will probably do this. What is web rooming? Web rooming is that people, when they browse online, they do the information search. So, if you remember that there are certain steps of consumer decision making theory. What are the steps of consumer decision making? The first step is need recognition. Customers should recognize that this is the product that they want to buy. The second is information search. Now, this is where probably, and even in the net recognition probably, this browse online thing comes up. What is the third step? The third step is evaluation of alternative. The fourth step is purchase and the fifth step is post purchase. Now, in this particular case, we will focus on these two places. One is purchase and another is everything before purchase, like need recognition, evaluation of alternative and information search. Now, generally these three things happens together, or at least information search and evaluation of alternatives happens together. Now, if that happens together, if this whole procedure is happening online and then you are purchasing in the store, then that is called a web rooming. On the other hand, if the whole procedure of information and search and etc. is happening inside the store and then you are purchasing online, that is called showrooming. Now, in which kind of context which one will happen? So, I will give you a real life example about myself. So, when I was doing my PhD at the later years of my PhD, I had a new family and I had to set up certain household in Bangalore. So, I was about to buy a washing machine. Now, I was very cost conscious at that time. You see, I am doing my PhD, my income was around 30,000, 40,000 rupees per month and my wife was also doing an income something like that, but so a middle class family. And we were going to buy certain product of washing machine. So, what we did is nearby store wherever it was there, we went there and we checked which washing machine is good, which washing machine is bad. We did not have much of an information, we discussed up with this particular person. It was around, let us say, around 7-8 years ago from now. So, after discussing with the salesperson and etc., we thought that okay, this is the product that I am going to buy. And this guy told that X is the price of that particular product. So, what I did is I came back home. I did not buy on that day. I came back home. And then I searched the product online and also checked the reviews of that product and also checked that whether the delivery of Flipkart or Amazon is happening properly or not for that particular product. Now, once I was satisfied, I saw that the price that is there in online is lower than X1, whatever was the price quoted in the brick and mortar store. So, I bought it in online. Now, why did I buy in online? I bought this particular thing in online, and why did I buy? Because I was price conscious at that point of time. Now, in the same thing when I was buying AC, now AC is generally bought by people who are a little bit above the group of people who buys the washing machine. Washing machine you will see in the houses of probably middle class family members, which are lower middle class as well. AC often you will see to mid range to higher range places. So, let us say another 20-30,000 rupees more I was started when I started earning. Per month I went to buy an AC. Now, unlike washing machine, AC requires a lot of service. You know that every I would say year you need probably one service. That service will be provided by the company, but at least if the company does not provide the service, you should be connected with a group, with a human being, certain technicians inside the locality who can give the service to you. Also, AC is a product whose price is a little bit higher than washing machine in general. So, you might be more conservative approach, you might take more conservative approach in this particular case. So, again the same thing I did, but I did exactly the opposite. I did all my online search and etc., studying of the reviews, getting idea about the brands, which brand is bad, which brand is good in online. But when I purchased, I went to the local store, big store, but local store. Why? Because I knew that anything bad happens, I can go and physically catch this person. I also knew that okay, when somebody comes up and installs it, he will not be a person who will be managed centrally. He will be a person who is managed locally. So, probably this person is also staying locally, and I might get his mobile number and etc. So, next time when the services are required, I can call this person directly. So, these are the two experiences of in the same product category. Both the product category is home appliances, but in one case I went for showrooming and in one case I went for web rooming. Sometimes it depends on my own factors, how risk conscious, how risk averse, how risk seeking I am, how price conscious I am. Sometimes it depends on the product category, whether the product category itself is high price or low price. Sometimes it depends on life stage. So, there are so many different factors which might impact people's decision that whether they will go for showrooming and web rooming. Now, this information is important, because if in your customers, whoever is your customer, let us say if you are Best Buy who sells more these home appliances or electronic products, or let us say you are Toys R Us who sells toys, or let us say you are Big Bazaar who sells groceries. Depending on who you are, you have to also identify that which kind of customers are there. Are they single channel customers? Are they multi-channel customers? If they are multi-channel customers, do they sync between those channels? Are they consistent with their channel choice? If it is a multi-channel customer, is he consistent? Is he always do the online search in certain cases and offline purchase in certain other cases, or he mix and matches? And if he mix and matches, based on what? Because if I know this, then depending on the stage of the consumer purchase process, I can target the customer properly. If the consumer is searching online and all my information and etc., I am bombarding in an offline space in my own retail store, and my online website does not have all those information, does not have feature to compare one product with another product. If those things are not there, then there is no point. For example, cars. We do all our research online, but the final purchase and etc., we do it offline. So, you need personalized services in the offline space for car when you are selling car. But you should also be sure that all your information about the cars, you do not give all the informations in the showroom. In the showroom, you will not see huge list of information. One is that is not possible to give. Second is, this is ultimately this is not visually attractive. Information, text and numbers are not visually attractive. So, if you put all those numbers in your retail store, in your dealership shop of cars, that will actually reduce the visual attraction of that particular place. And if that is the case, then the same car which was very good looking and etc., might not be so much attractive for the customers. So, you give all these informations in internet, and you have to also understand that in which websites people are searching for car information. Are they searching in your website? Because your website will only have your car's information. Nobody searches information about a car in the brand's website. They go to a common website where multiple brands can come up and they can search. Now, if you have to do marketing in this particular place, you have to invest money, you have to do investments on cars.com or cars24.com or this kind of websites where people actually compare one car with another. And you have to also know that in what features people are comparing, and you have to give information about those features in that particular place. You might also give advertisements in those places when you are launching a new product. So, these ideas has to be there, and that is why what drives web rooming and what drives showrooming is a very important decision. So, recently we have written a paper, me and Professor Shravanti Mukherjee from IIT Kharagpur has written a paper. I will share the link of this particular paper in this PPT. When you get this PPT from NPTEL platform, you will get this link of that particular paper. You can read the paper, where we have divided the factors which impact this web rooming and showrooming in this kind of cases. For example, consumer related variables, purchase context related variables and channel related variables. So, some variables are about the consumer. If the consumer has high perceived risk, he will go for online. So, he will buy it online. Intention to buy is online over offline if his perceived risk is high. If he wants enjoyment, if he wants attractiveness, then he will probably go for online. At the same time, if the self efficacy is high, that means he knows that I can search a lot, I know how to search in internet, he will go for online search. If he has a variety seeking behavior, he will go for online search. Enjoyment is something that leads to purchase of online. So, enjoyment in comparison to offline, I am saying that if you enjoy online environment more, you will go to online search, online buying. If you enjoy offline environment more, you will go to buy offline and you will search also offline. For example, let us say you sometimes enjoy to go to window shopping with your friends. Now, window shopping or just going around inside this product catalogs and product merchandises, many people actually like that. Now, if you feel enjoyment from there, you might probably go for an offline purchase. But if you are the other kind of person who loves to do it online, who wants to search online, then they will go for online. Then next is purchase context related. For example, if there is a need of touch and feel, for example, dress often requires the need of touch and feel. Not all kind of dress. If it is a daily casual usage kind of dress, you might not bother. But if it is a very special dress which requires touch and feel, which requires how it looks like, let us say it's your some wedding anniversary or wedding receptions dress, or certain programs, functions dress, where touch, feel, looks, etc., angles of the look, etc., everything matters. You might want to go to search in a offline space. Similarly, if you have time pressure, you will go for offline. Just now I gave examples of AC and etc. Depending on what kind of product, you might go for offline or online. On the other hand, if you have urgency and time pressure, not only you will do search in an offline space, but you will also buy it in offline space. So, there is a slight difference between time pressure and urgency. The word time pressure means you do not have time, you do not have time to spend on this particular activity. When people do not have time to spend in purchasing activity, they go for online search and online buy, because commute towards the brick and mortar store takes time. That is a different. Time pressure means I am a busy person, but urgency means I require it very soon, as the one that I was giving example, interviews. Tomorrow you have an interview, today you have to buy something. So, what will you do? You will go for offline purchase. So, that is also an important factor. Then information availability. If the website, this is basically channel related. If the website channel does not have any information, how will you search online? You will go for offline purchase only or offline information search only. On the other hand, price and convenience leads to online purchase, because online has less stocking cost, that is why less price. Online is more convenient because you can sit at your home and search. So, these are some of the factors that leads to. Now, whether you will intend to search online or you will intend to search offline, and that will lead to web rooming and showrooming. So, this is a picture that, so in this part all these things are listed, you can read it at a later point of time. The blue lines are basically positive effects and the red lines are basically negative effects. So, I am saying that let us talk about one of them. Let us say in the below one I am saying that when I am in an urgency U has a negative effect on intention to buy online. So, when I have urgency I will not buy online. So, if I do not buy online, I will not do showrooming. So, IB on off, intention to buy online will have a positive effect on showrooming. Showrooming means I am going to the showroom, seeing the product and then buying online. So, that is showrooming. So, if I intention to buy online is high, then showrooming has a positive effect that is being shown. So, urgency will lead to intention to buy online less, and that is why showrooming also will be less. Similarly, all other things like let us say perceived risk or time pressure or information availability or all this self-efficacy etc., we created this model. We collected data from various people in different product contexts and some of the results we got which looks like this. Whatever we were expecting, more or less we got. Some of the moderating expectations we did not get. This more details about this will be available in that particular paper. Now, what I got from this thing is basically that I have got an idea about that what kind of features, personal features, channel related features and the purchase context related features will impact a person's purchasing behavior or channel choice online versus offline at different stages of purchasing process. Purchase process has different stage and you have to know that in which stage consumers are asking for which kind of choices. Now, in the next 10 minutes of this particular video, we will talk about distribution type and futuristic retailing. So, distribution type we will focus on. What are the distribution types that are available in the retail store? In the retail context, there are three kinds of major distribution types. One is called exclusive, another is intensive and the third one is selective. What is an exclusive distribution? So, first of all, what is distribution? Now, if I am a supplier or if I am a manufacturer, I want my retailer to sell my products. Now, when I am a manufacturer or a supplier and I want my retailer to sell my products, I want some level of commitment from the retailer. Now, if I want absolute commitment of the retailer, that means you are a retailer who will only sell my product and nobody else. That is called exclusive. That means suppliers makes arrangements with one or few retailers, designating such retailers as the only ones to carry certain brands or products within a specific geographic area. Very big example is let us say the retail stores of oil petrol pumps. One same petrol pump cannot give service to both Indian Oil and let us say HP or Reliance. It is not possible. You can take franchisee of any one of them in that geographical region. Same applies for car dealership. One particular dealership cannot be dealer of multiple brands. If you are a Maruti Suzuki dealer, you are only Maruti Suzuki Nexa dealer. You cannot be a dealer of Ford. You can be a dealer of Ford with some other name, but ideally that particular company cannot be a dealer of another person. So, that is called exclusive distribution system. This is majorly available for products which are of high volume or high cost, high end products. The next one is intensive. Intensive means I do not care. Intensive means I will come in and I will get associated with as many retailers as possible. I will create no problem. You can, the retailer can also have relationship with as many suppliers or manufacturers as possible. It is a free open market. Selective means suppliers sell through a moderate number of retailers. There are some level of, I would say, hindrance on the retailers also, that you can have relationship with this person, but majorly there is freedom. Now, why do I, what are the positive, what are the pros and cons of these three different kinds of, so exclusive is one end, intensive is another end, in between there is selective. Now, what are the pros and cons? Now, first of all, this is a color code. Green means lowest, the purple means highest, and the yellow means medium. So, you can see that selective is everything medium. So, selective we will not talk about, we will talk about exclusive and intensive. The number of retailers in an exclusive is less and number of retailers in intensive is high. So, you can reach more number of people if you go for intensive one. Then the potential for conflict between multiple retailers is also less. You will see if there is a Nexa in your locality, the nearest Nexa will be probably 10 kilometers away for Maruti Suzuki. Or nearest Indian Oil petrol pump, the distance between two Indian Oil petrol pumps is some kilometers. So, within the retailers conflict will be less, which will be absolutely high in the context of intensive distribution, because these two retailers are basically competing with each other. They have no promises from the manufacturer that okay, you and this guy will not get competition, I will ensure that some people comes in both of your retail stores. There is no such thing. So, they are absolutely in competitive mode. Support from supplier, because this is exclusive, because I am giving only I am selling only Maruti, Maruti should give me lots of benefits. Maruti should do advertisement, Maruti should ensure availability of the product, Maruti should give me support services. So, all those stuff that the retailer claim from the manufacturer is generally high in an exclusive distribution. In intensive distribution, there is no benefit for you. The supplier sales is generally low in this context and high in the intensive distribution context. When my supplier sales is high, I will don't care. I will not care that whether I go with this retailer or that retailer, because anyway the product is getting sold. It is not retailer dependent, but cars is retailer dependent. If the retailer is not there, nobody will buy that car. Whatever other car is available, they will buy that. Retailers brand selection is very low, because generally they also focus on the highest moving brand within the umbrella brand of the manufacturer, which is very high for intensive. Product image or retailer image in this context is not its highest in the context of exclusive distribution, and in this particular context it is lowest. Similarly, competition among retailers, like conflict is low, competition is also low in this case, in case of exclusive, and in intensive it is high. So, in simple words, if the product sells on its own, then the retailer, exclusivity of retailer is not required. Manufacturer will go with any retailer available, whoever gives you better deal, whoever can sell your product more at a lower margin, they will go with them. But if the product is such which requires specialized attention, for example, cars or let us say electronic products or petrol pumps, where the location is very important. So, in such kind of contexts, the retailers' presence or exclusivity of the retailers are very important, because they are the person who is ensuring the sales. The brand name does not ensure the sale, and this kind of context people will go for exclusive distribution strategy. They will not go with intensive distribution strategy. So, in all other cases, this is selective, it is middle range. So, we will see that how these distribution strategies are adopted in various contexts as we go ahead with the particular course. We will stop here. In the next video, I will discuss about different kinds of formats or different kinds of technologies. First of all technologies, then in the next week we will talk about formats, different technologies that has come up in the context of retail. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video.